Alright, dumbasses, what's good? I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to show you how to do the animal care setup because I said I was going to do it last video. I'm just going to basically just rebuild this whole ass shit and explain my thought process of this design along the way, I guess. So, let me get this straight. This is mostly for hardcore players only because the thing about food setups is that you only need to make as much as you consume, and like that's why I have only one pig, for example, because I don't need that much truffle avocado toast. Because I make more than I eat in a night, so I only need one pig. Turkeys, I have 3 because I use berry pancakes for money, and I recommend all hardcore players do because they're a pretty good way of making money. All you really need is 3 turkeys, 1 maple tree, maybe 2, depends. And you just need like, I don't know, 10 wheat totems worth of a farm. I have it clotted up in my grape farm here. Yeah, here's my grape farm, so I just have wheat clotted here. Obviously I'm in hardcore mode, so the void crop eaters are going to get to these, but they're just wheat, so I don't really give a fuck. This is crop eater proof for star fruit because they're rare seeds, I guess. So, yeah. Alright, I don't really have like, I don't really like note down how this thing looks, so I'm just going to copy it and look at it as I go. I don't know. But it does work. So first of all, get these animals the fuck out of here. We'll add them at the end, and they're just gonna be annoying in the building process. So, get out. Fuck you. Okay, so first we're gonna do the sorting system. So, let's get a decent amount of space away from this so we have plenty of space to build the farm. Alright, to make this build easier to copy and follow, I'm gonna use 3 different types of stairs, slab, and blocks, so like you can visualize which is which. So first we're gonna use slabs for these chests to here. We're gonna make a 4-way split, so this is the final split, right? Probably put this in my first slot. Whatever, I'll use solid blue, fuck it. Wait, there's not really good contrast with that. Okay, I'll use stone brick, I guess. One important thing to note is to not use any grass except for the grass up here and the dirt, like here. Do not use any grass in this farm except for the places I tell you to. So we're gonna do a 4-way split right here for the raspberries. And I said I'll explain how this farm works as they go. So the reason we're doing it with randomizers instead of just using a long line of chests to store the raspberries is because if multiple come at once, like, and you have this is full and it's going to the next one, like, it's gonna take time to process and they can despawn in that process. So instead we're gonna use randomizers to send them to different factions of the storage system, I guess. So let me see, how was this? At a conveyor here, right? Yeah. It was this way. Right. Okay, make sure I'm using a stone brick just to build. Obviously these randomizers don't need blocks to support them, so we're gonna break them after. We want to use as minimal blocks as possible. That's the purpose of this farm. All right. Let me see how this looked. Okay, so this side we're gonna turn so we have space to fit other chests, right? And on each end we're gonna put 2 chests, so make sure you do that. Oh my god. Okay, now we're gonna do a filter conveyor. And in this chest we're gonna store baked potatoes. And in this chest we're gonna store truffles. So let's configure that right now. Raspberries go on this side. Oh, hold on. Raspberries go on this side and truffles go on this side. And then baked potatoes, they don't like factor in here, so they're gonna go out the forward into the top output. Oh shit, yeah, remember use slabs for chest support instead of full blocks because slabs are, I think, less laggy, you know. It won't hurt if I'm wrong, so. Now we're gonna do a second filter here. Oh, let me get my respawn back. Okay, so yeah, raspberries, black truffles. And in this one, we're gonna do, on this side, eggs. So both egg and duck egg. And then bucket of milks, so milk bucket and yak milk bucket, alright? And then now what we're gonna do is the side with the eggs, this side, we're gonna cover with slabs so that the eggs don't roll out. All these you don't have to cover with blocks because the items don't really roll out, like, at all. Maybe like 1 in 100 or like 1,000, but like in general you're not gonna have to worry about that. But with eggs, they do have a tendency to fall out, so we're gonna go like that, and then we're gonna place a filter like this. And then these ends are the ones we're going to output to. So in this end, you're going to put eggs and then this end you're gonna put like a random item, and then duck eggs will filter out to the top because we can't fit a chest here. And now let's block off the ends so that the eggs can't roll out. Not the ends, but like the conveyors. If you're gonna use slabs, just make sure you place them correctly, like that. All right, and then this side we're gonna filter out buckets. Oh, and by the way, the reason we have the eggs going in separate chests is because if this chest ends up overflowing, instead of like the eggs getting, because you have only one type of item going in, it won't overflow and it'll just output to the void instead. So that's why we do that. Now this side we're gonna have milk, so milk bucket and random item here. It can't be any item, you know. Just need something to make it so that it filters out to the top. And these conveyors, you don't have to cover because buckets won't really fall off conveyors. So yeah, this is what it should look like, I'm pretty sure, right? Let me double check. Yes. Alright. Now also double check to make sure you don't have any extra blocks around. Those are just slabs. Right. Yeah. Okay, now we're good. Let me turn off shadows so you can see stuff easier. Alright, now we're gonna build the chute. Pretty sure you need a glass pane for this, right? Yeah, you do. So it can be any glass pane. Put one right here. Put a stair here. And cover this with slabs so that nothing can fall out like that. And now we're gonna place a stair there. And a stair there. And a stair like that. So this is like the kind of funnel that catches the item. Right? And now we're gonna cover up. So the reason we have the funnel like this is so that the items don't like just instantly phase through the conveyor or fly out. So this kind of slows them down just enough so that they don't fall out. And only cover what's necessary here. So like for example, we don't need to cover like this. Instead we can just cover it like this because of the stairs, you know. And you see, this is why I'm using different kinds of blocks, like you can visualize it easier. So like this. And then here we're just gonna have stone brick. And then we're gonna follow the chute up like that. So if you need a little visual, it's like that, like this, and the inside looks like this. And I don't know how much we're supposed to go up. Let me go count real quick. Alright, I counted. It's 15 blocks. So this right here is already 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So make sure the chute is 15 blocks tall. So we're gonna. This is 5 blocks right here. So we're gonna go up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you can do the rest. Oh, my bad. Make sure the tube is clear and the items can fall through, by the way, just so you know. Okay, and now this is where our grass will be, so we're gonna put amethyst crystals on. I'm gonna put amethyst crystal blocks on like this layer to know this is where our grass will be. So actually wait, I should mark it with grass. Yeah, grass will be on this layer. And now we're gonna build the chute. Alright, so we know the grass is gonna be on this layer, so that means our machines and conveyors need to fit in this layer right here, so let's mine down one. I know this tutorial is kind of scuffed, but like whatever. Okay, now we're gonna build 3 blocks out this way. And place your nest in the middle. Make sure this one's in the middle. And your berry baskets and truffle barrels, place them on either side. It doesn't really matter what side you place it on. But make sure the nest is in the middle. Because these items don't really roll off, the nest does, and you put the nest in the middle, like these conveyors can kind of catch it, and like they'll never really fall out. So place conveyors like so. And then, let me see. Alright, now we're gonna get our automated troughs. So right next to this truffle barrel, we're gonna place a trough like that. Break the unnecessary blocks. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. These should be slabs, shouldn't they? They should. Sorry about that. Let me fix that. Okay, let me place this shit back. So truffle barrel and berry basket. Alright, my bad. So we're gonna place a trough here, and where'd the other trough go? Trough goes 2 blocks out here, and then motherfucker. Trough goes right here. Right. And then now we're gonna build the feeding system, so let's get our items out. We're gonna need a randomizer, we need an oven, gonna need a filter, right? And some conveyors. So, just so I'll explain now. The reason we have these buried in the ground rather than on the same level is because animals will get stuck in the troughs, but if we bury them, they won't get stuck, and they can still like eat and like use the machines through the ground, because like they're kind of buggy. So we use that to our advantage here. So we're gonna want to farm baked potatoes too, because we want potato and duck egg scramble to make with the duck eggs. So we're gonna need baked potatoes for that. So we're gonna be feeding both the chickens and ducks baked potatoes because they'll both eat that. So we're gonna, because we're already making baked potatoes, we can farm that too. So we're gonna take half of the baked potatoes, and we're gonna filter half these baked potatoes into the funnel. So let's do that right now. We're gonna need a conveyor turn. This way, make sure you're using the right turns, by the way. And a splitter conveyor. You always want to use these on long conveyor lines. I know they're technically an electrical item, and like you're confused now, but like we're not using this for electricity at all. We're making so like you know how people use the input-output chest to transfer items like through long conveyor lines to protect these one. This does that, but it's better because it's not a chest, so it doesn't store item data, so it's less laggy. And then we're gonna need a merger here, so that we can turn it as well. This input doesn't have anything. This is just the same thing as this, but we're turning it. Okay, and in this merger, we're gonna block off these sides, like so. And we're gonna transfer this to the chutes. So, where's my stairs? I'm gonna use green stairs, right? Yeah. So we're gonna place a stair here so it falls in. We're gonna place full blocks here so potatoes don't fly out. Oh wait, no, this should be a full block. Yep. These two blocks should be full. And break this here, these two blocks, so that potatoes have space to fly in. Then cover it so that nothing can fly out. There, like so. Alright, so you can see we already have everything going into the chute, and then we sorted that. So now we're gonna do the milker, the industrial milker. Get it out here. Alright, where's it placed? I forgot. Okay, so on top of this conveyor, we're gonna have an upside down stair, like that. And we're actually gonna want the stair, so do that. And then on a slab, we're gonna place a milker, like so. And when you AFK this, you gonna want to auto-click milkers in, so that you're constantly feeding it back in. And when you're AFKing other stuff, just remove this wheat and radish totem that we're gonna add later. You know, I'll explain that later, I guess. Okay. And then we're gonna block up this side right here. So you don't have to place anything here, by the way. Okay. So now that we have that done, let's see what's next. All right, now we have all the inputs done. I mean, not the input, the outputs done. So eggs go down here, truffles go down here, berries go down here, milk goes down here, down these stairs, onto this conveyor and into the chute. I know it's a little scuffed, but they don't really fall out, so don't worry about it. See right here? See how I did it? Onto this conveyor, into there. Same thing. This is the finished product without the void grass, by the way. Okay. So now let's just build the totems and food. So we have troughs here. We need a third trough, right? Right here. No, wait. No, my bad. It goes right here. And a conveyor leading into the trough. And two slabs right there. And break all the unnecessary blocks. Not that one. That one's necessary. Okay, now let's do the wheat and radish totem. So we're gonna grab our grass. And we're gonna make it, if you're in normal mode, you could just do this and plow that and put the fertilizer, right? Make sure you're putting the right amount of fertilizer, which I'm gonna show in a sec. But if you're in hardcore mode, you want to make it crop eater proof, so we're gonna do something like this, and then we're gonna place slabs on top, so that when the crop eaters spawn, they're gonna fall down and into the void because they can't like the slab is gonna push them off, you know. All right, now get our plow, right? Place our radish seeds. Where the fuck's my radish? And fertilizer, right? Only 3 of the 4 get fertilizer. The 4th one does not get fertilizer. We want a good ratio so that the trough doesn't overflow. All right. Now we're gonna get our radish totem out. Oh, and by the way, make sure there's 2 blocks of space in between here, so that the wheat totem that we're about to place. Where's my wheat totem? That way, the wheat totem I'm about to place, this is 3 blocks away, so it can't access these crops. The totem's range is 3, and we don't want the wheat totem accessing these crops, or else it's gonna place seeds on there and disrupt everything. So the wheat totem's 1 block closer here, and we're gonna place our wheat crops here. This is gonna be underneath the grass as well. And again, only 1 gets fertilizer. Remember that, only 1. All right. Okay, now we've done the cows, so we're gonna build the system now for washing and cooking potatoes and carrots. Let's get our washing station, get a filter running. Where's my slabs? Here. Okay, so oven, and these are baked potatoes, so logically before the randomizer we have an oven, right? And then before that oven we have a filter conveyor. This filter conveyor is configured carrots this way, random item this way, right? And we're gonna block off we're only gonna block off this end of the conveyor, right? Because potatoes are fine, but carrots, they're very wobbly and they'll fall. So only carrots are gonna go through this way, but potatoes, they'll be fine to ride on conveyors and they won't really fall, so it doesn't really matter. All right. Now we're gonna fuel the oven, so we're gonna have conveyors here and slabs here. Slabs here actually, because we don't want the coal falling out, right? Okay, do conveyors like this, and then 1 conveyor going out into the void, and we're gonna place a coal totem right here. And then we're gonna block off, we're gonna place slabs on top of these conveyors. So basically, let me explain this. This is a 3-way split, so the conveyor has a 1 in 3 chance to push a coal here, 1 in 3 to put it here, and 1 in 3 to like delete it and put it in the void, right? And remove those 2 blocks. So this oven won't really get overflown with coal because 1/3 is going into the void, while 2/3 are going into the oven instead. And the reason we put slabs is that the coal doesn't fall off, because when you put slabs, the coal will, instead of spawning in the air and then falling on the conveyor, will just spawn straight plop onto the conveyor, right? And to make sure that the coal doesn't fly out here, we're gonna place a stair here. Right. And we're gonna place grass blocks like this here later, so you don't have to worry about covering that. But that's how you fuel the oven. And now we're gonna get our washing station. So place that here, and we're gonna block off all the conveyors going in and out of the washing station because carrots are coming in from there. So, and we don't want to fuck with the carrots because they'll fall. So do that. And okay, then we're gonna have 2 conveyors leading into the washing station, like so. Make sure they're facing right. Slabs like this. Right, totems. And you want 2 potato totems here. Now this is where things get a little confusing, so you're gonna want to pay a little attention so you don't fuck things up. Alright, first we're gonna work with the crops for the 2 potato totems here. So we want to ensure that the crop totems can't steal from each other or place seeds in their own domain, or else you're gonna encounter seed loss, because the game, like, sometimes they harvest from the same tick or place on the same tick, and then you'll lose the seed. You know what I mean? Oh wait, I fucked up here, my bad. You're gonna have to move this one forward. So let's do that real quick. Yeah, it's my bad, my bad. I'm just building this off observing and kind of off memory, so yeah. I'm making sure everything's right, don't worry. So we're gonna move everything back 1 block, because I fucked up. Because I was about to explain things with ranges, and I realized the wheat totem was out of those wheat crops ranges. And I realized, oh, I messed up there. Huh. Remember 3 fertilizer only? Okay, so look, let me demonstrate what I mean. So you see, wheat totems have a radius of 3 blocks, a range of 3 blocks. And that's like a square, so this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you see, this radish totem can interact with all 3 of these crops, but it can't interact with the crops over these crops over here, because look, 1, 2, 3, out of range. But this wheat totem can interact with those crops because it's 1 block it's 1 block closer, but it can't interact with these. You see, we're isolating them, right? That's the same principle we're gonna do here. So 1, 2, 3, and then this we're gonna have to mine. Okay, so this is where the crops are gonna go. Here, 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 and here. So 5 potatoes here, and we're gonna same thing on here. Wait, let me see. Okay, so we're gonna want 5 potatoes, but we're gonna do it like this. So yeah, it's a little ugly, but we work with it. This is the method. So we're gonna fertilize all these crops. Don't worry about fertilizing ratios. We're just gonna have to fertilize them all, except for the carrots, though. And then place the potato seeds, and then grab fences. We're gonna do fences like this. And then where's my stone brick? Remember, don't use any grass. We're gonna place a full block here, slabs here, and slabs on these blocks. And we're also gonna place a slab. Oh fuck! I broke the washer. Place a slab there, and then let me place back the washer. Okay. So let me see here. Okay, I remember now. Conveyors. We're gonna get both conveyor directions. Make sure this is left and this one's right, and do it like that. So you should be funneled like this, and then this conveyor goes forward, and then conveyor this way, like this. And these conveyors go. All these conveyors here go in and they drop on here into the washer. This conveyor goes out. Now let me explain what we're doing here. So slab here, whole totem here. So here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna split the coal out into 4 directions. So 3/4 of the coal go into the washer, 1/4 goes out. Now it's not 2/3 because we want to make sure this has constant coal. So we're gonna have coal flooding, but by doing this, we're not gonna have it flood as much. Because if the wash station is dry on coal, you're gonna have potatoes falling out. You don't want that. So yeah, it's a necessary evil. Okay. Now place 2 slabs here and 2 slabs here. Potato totem here, 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 and carrot totem here. This last block, right? All right. Now let's get our grass plow and seeds out. Where's my seeds? We're gonna want carrot, right? Where's my carrot? And fertilizer. Okay, so we're gonna go out 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're gonna go out 3 blocks, but it's gonna be in this direction. 1, 2, 3. And then this is only gonna be 3 blocks. Don't do it like this, because otherwise the potato totem can steal from this. Instead, do it like this, and we're gonna plow these 3. 3 carrots, fertilize only 2. Okay? And then out from here, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. And then here. Oh, my fucker. Like this, and then we're gonna go across here. And remember, don't do it like this either, or else this totem can steal from this. So, like this. 4 crops. It's not 4, it's 4, not 5, because some have 4, some have 5, so that we get an ideal potato ratio, so the here doesn't overflow. Okay, so that's why. And we're gonna do 3 blocks across, then here I'm gonna go like, okay, looks like I fucked up here. Shift this 1, and we're gonna go across like this. Seeds, fertilizer, like that. So like look how it's formatted. See, this potato column can only access these crops. This is out of the range. So see, 1, 2, 3, it's out of the range. If there was a grass here, I could steal from it, but it's only got its own private crops. When you have 2 totems going for the same amount of crops, you get seed loss, and we don't want that. So that's why we're doing complicated shit like this. So out 3, 1, 2, 3, because we want 4 crops here. Plow it, seeds, and fertilizer. So, in case you're still confused about the fertilizer, all the potatoes get fertilizer. Carrot, 2 out of 3. Wheat, 1 out of 2. Radish, 3 out of 4. The reason is because we want good fertilizer ratio, so we don't have the troughs overflowing too much. Okay. And now that's pretty much it. Now we just have to cover the whole ass shit. So let me see how this went. So we're gonna use void grass, right? And the reason we use void grass instead of regular grass, because it acts as normal grass, right? But animals are still attracted to it. But the thing about normal grass is that, you see, look at this, stone, that stone right there, it's gonna grow in the grass, like tall grass or flowers. Once they grow in the grass, once they grow enough, it's gonna break the AI, because animals don't see that as grass anymore. So we're using void grass instead, because animals see void grass as grass, but nothing grows in it. So we're never gonna have any animals like committing suicide or anything. So wait, no, let me place it back here. Okay, starting from here, we're gonna place 3 grass here and 3 grass here, and then we're gonna fill it in. So like 3 blocks wide and 7 blocks, well, 7 blocks long, 3 blocks wide, right? And in these these edges, we're gonna edge it with grass, and we're gonna place berries on these grass blocks. Right, like that. I think that's how it went, right? Yeah, that's exactly how it went. Okay, so I'm gonna place raspberries on all these grass blocks. Now, we're actually gonna hide raspberries too, so that turkeys can access it. And just give them some extra raspberries. So only on these blocks in the border, alright, we're gonna place raspberry seeds. See? Just like that. And we're gonna cover it back up with void grass, I guess. Alright, and we should be done. Oh wait, no, there's still some void grass here. Okay, so now let me explain some things. You might be confused. Why do we have a chute when we could just drop it into like the system? just like that. Well, the reason we have the chute is that when you come to harvest this thing, and let's say the animals were on the same level as this, the animals would want to jump to you and they wouldn't want to jump in the void, and then you would have to put them back and it's annoying. So by building the chute, the animals are going to be all the way up there and they'll be out of your range of detection for following, because animals like following you. So that's why we have it like this. And if you're worried about animals escaping, they won't, because they're like I said, they're attracted to grass, so they're gonna stay in the grass. All right. So now we're gonna put our animals in. Okay, so the type of the stats of your animals don't matter, right? But if you want to make the farm faster. Okay, the reason the stats of the animals don't matter is because they'll all starve at the same rate. So by having better animals is just gonna mean you're gonna have better rates, but it's not gonna affect the farm at all. But if you want to make the farm better, you're gonna want, whoa, your X is resourceful, X being the animal, and you want productivity at least 50% or higher. You can't get tier 2 plus eggs anymore, so the max productivity you can get with a tier 1 egg is 50%. So like for example, this yak is like about 50% and it's resourceful, so that's about the best you can get. The friendliness and fertility stat don't matter at all, so don't worry about that. And now we're just gonna put the animals in the farm, I guess. So yeah, I don't. What you want is 1 chicken, 1 duck, 1 pig, and 3 turkeys. All right, and 1 cow, of course. So let me cut to when they're all in the farm. Alright, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I know this tutorial was like really fucking scuffed and like probably really annoying because I made mistakes, but I don't really care, I'm kind of lazy, so fuck you. So, when you AFK and you want to get milk, basically you want to orient your camera like this. And then, okay, no. In general, if you want to AFK, just press F and just auto-click here. But if you want to run a truffle avocado toast macro as well, just be like make the macro go F like this, and then you turn on your auto clicker, and then when you need to eat toast, make it go E, and then eat the toast, and then go F, and then go back to auto clicking with your auto clicker hotkey. Okay, so just make sure that your cursor, and when you open it, it aligns with the buckets. Like for example, you don't want this because when you open it, you're not going to be hovering over the bucket. But here, we're going to be hovering over the bucket. Like that. Yeah, like that. See? Boom. Good? Alright. Well, that's pretty much it. See you later.